Instead, I'm doing seed paper. Seed paper, soak it, plant it, and grows black-eyed Susans. Attract bees. Talk about sustainability. We need bees to survive. No bees, we're dead. Number 3, I walked my talk. Again, on December 17th, I protested out in the rain, co-led a protest to save the clear cutting of a half a football field worth of trees behind City Hall. Think globally, act locally. And that was not the only time I was out protesting. I've been out protesting by myself many, many, many times. So, yeah, sustainability is part. And I went to school in Boulder. I lived in California. I don't know what more I could say.
Yes, absolutely. That's the biggest part of my platform. It is a huge, that investment actually a portion of it can be financed by Georgia Power. And what we saw in Plains, Georgia, under Jimmy Carter's leadership, is that he created that renewable energy hub. The entire city is self-sustaining based on the work he did. We can get that bill paid for, that initial investment cost, and absolutely the first place we should start is at City Hall. I mean, we do have those abandoned buildings that need to be addressed, but we can control the landlord, if I'm the mayor, a little bit easier than we can control the landlord of a super target who may be in Florida, Texas, who knows. So absolutely do support that.
I have a question and I have waited to talk to Mr. Listen.
Can we just get one more response?
No, you know what? I support it 100%.
Yeah.
You've done a great job.
Mr. Litton, I would love to hear your viewpoint on the clear cutting of the trees and what you did to help Mayor Jerry Wood exit this stupid community.
And it's Michael, please.
I'm
This
sorry.
is my father. So not to be redundant again, you know, I just saw that as an issue that was not right. I mean, again, we have enough clear cutting going on. Why would the city clear cut a half a football field and then call it the city green under the guise of activating that space? We've spent almost $1 million of our taxpayer dollars to study that goofy thing. You know, I think you saw from my deliverables, we could activate that space with tunes in the trees, lighting it, and a Lorax statue for $100,000. We could get it done. So that's one thing, sustain, you know, as it relates to thinking locally on that. And then we need to change our tree ordinance. You know, Lee said it. We're defining insanity, you know, because you look all around and we're clear cutting everywhere. So clearly our tree ordinance is not working. We need to revisit that and figure out a way to make it work.
I'm Mama Nature and I approve that message.
Thank you, Mama Nature.
Do you have any questions for each other?
In the event of a runoff, which candidate would you endorse? Oh, let me answer. I would support Michael Litton. Good luck.
Michael Litton. Since you want to support me, I want to support her.
Yeah, Michael Litton. So, you know, my mantra, again, think different. I don't think my endorsement make a hill of beans worth of difference to the people. If you're going to support me, you think different, right? So you make up your own mind.
I hate to mar this moment of camaraderie and joy with the possibility of one more question.
Here we go.
But anybody have a fireball they haven't thrown yet? Yeah, is it nice? Is it a nice question?
Real life.
Is it going to forward? Oh, is it?
Okay, so Roswell has a large Hispanic population, right? And in the real world, and in the real U.S., you know, this is a heated issue right now. We're talking about immigrants and dreamers. I actually live in Roswell, but not in the voting part of Roswell. I live in Cobb County, Roswell, and I'm videoing for my friends in the voting part of Roswell. So, but I have noticed something that the Cobb County Police have done to actively go out to the Hispanic populations and try to build this relationship so they're not afraid to report crimes, because you're seeing things like sexual assault go unreported and domestic, assault go unreported. So, A, is there something you can do from a mayoral office to protect dreamers locally? Would you consider making Roswell a sanctuary city? And would you actively seek to build that relationship with the Roswell police and the Hispanic community in Roswell? Because they are a huge part of the Roswell community and economy.
If I may add one piece, and what is your position on the 287G program?
And can you tell people what that is?
For folks that are unaware, 287G is a program operated by the federal government that encourages collaboration between local law enforcement to do the work of the immigration officers.
Right.
To turn people in.
So,
I'm sorry?
We're like local police officers.
That's right.
to work for ICE or to work as an extension of ICE.
Yes.
right? So in Cobb County, the state patrol and sheriff office do that. The Cobb County Police Department does not, and they've made it very well known to the Hispanic community that they are not that group, and they actively go out and try to build that relationship. And I think that we have a very vulnerable Hispanic population, and it's important to do that work. So that's what I'm asking you to do.
Just in terms of organization, we'll take this as a final response, and then you'll have Councilman Moore.
All right, I'll be quick. I have worked extensively with our Roswell Police Department on a lot of issues. And in the Hispanic community, I am very busy. In fact, so much that when we started our church, we also started a Hispanic congregation, meaning that we do the service in all Spanish. Every week, we have Hispanic people coming into our church. We are helping them with all kind of issues, whether it's immigration issues, whether it is job issues, whether it is translation issues. This is something I do every week. It is a part of my lifestyle. So I have.
You make it a sanctuary city.
So I have a incredible relationship with the Hispanic community, and I would certainly be open to making it a sanctuary city. And I believe my behavior, my actions, my relationships with the Hispanic community speaks to that.
And 287G,
There were a lot of parts, I apologize. The other part would be actively working with the police department to make sure that
Yes.
that the community knows that they're safe.
Absolutely, because I've worked with them on so many issues. This will be another issue. Absolutely, 100%.
and 287G.
I'm not I'm not familiar with that, but the answer is once you defined it, absolutely. Absolutely. You asked would we be open. Explain that to me one more time. 287G, because there were 3 questions asked.
The federal government has been encouraging local law enforcement agencies to sign agreements with ICE, with immigration, so that local law enforcement is collaborating with federal immigration officials and enforcing federal immigration law rather than dealing with their local issues.
It's an extension of ICE.
Yes.
Do you think
Yeah, I
local
support
cops should
that.
be? Do you think local cops should be able to deport our citizens and actively be targeting them? Yes,
No.
that is what that is.
Absolutely.
That's the question. That's
Okay,
what
that's a very.
Thank you for the translation.
No problem.
No, I mean we have been our church has been a sanctuary. So absolutely no. I'm sorry I misunderstood. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you.
So sanctuary city, yes, and G37? 230, I've never-
287G.
287, that's a terrible thing, absolutely not. Our taxpayer resources should never go to that. And then the other question was about the police interaction with the illegal immigrant population. So about 14% of our population is Hispanic. So a crucial part of addressing the opioid epidemic starts with this. And no one should be afraid to call the police if their life is in danger or they find their child breathless on the floor. That is the reality, and that fear is instilled in those communities, and it has crippled progress, and it has crippled people with a very bright future, people who have worked hard and paid taxes into this community. Why would I encourage local law enforcement that has been financed by the same people to go ahead and take them and deport them? That is outrageous. that is an outrageous thing. Absolutely not, will never happen. There will be plenty of services offered to the Hispanic community, including, city services need to be translatable. People need to be able to understand what is going on. People need to know what access they have to resources, and it starts with going to people where they are. Let's meet you where you are and tell me what you need so I can help. That's what local government does, and we have to support our immigrant population. I am the daughter of 2 immigrants. Please.
Correct?
Yo habla español. This is very personal to me. My girlfriend Laura's middle daughter's boyfriend Jesus is a dreamer. And I've developed a very close relationship with Marcelo Zapata. Marcelo Zapata got elected in 2015. What an incredible achievement, unseating an incumbent as the first Hispanic city council person. So very, very cool. And I supported Marcelo. And I would work very closely with Marcelo, take his guidance, because he does speak the language. And I'd work very closely with Rusty Grant, who's our chief of police.
Let's just go through final comments and your request for people's votes.
My name is Sandy Sinoma, and I hope to earn your vote because we believe in the potential of our community. We have the same vision, and we believe in the same values. I hope that you'll be able to overlook my perceived lack of experience or my age, because you're as desperate as I am for fresh leadership. I want to remind everybody, Election Day is November 7th. So remember, just like you would vote down the ballot in any other election, and you would vote deep, because you know what's at stake if you don't. You have to do it here too. I am the only Democrat in the race. There are no other options, and there is a very real and present danger, and I am here to make sure that our community in 10 years reflects the values that we all share. It's time for a better Roswell, and you deserve better, and your children deserve better, and I will fight for you and your values every single day. If you'd like more information on my policies or platform, or if you'd be encouraged to donate, we do need people, prayers, and pennies to win this election. So I encourage you to do so at www.roswellmayor.com.
I'm Lee Jenkins. I want your vote because I know I can do a great job. I know I can reach across the aisle. And I've been working with people with different views for my entire life. So all I have to say to you is you can listen to what people say and judge them by what they say. Or you can look at a person's life and look how they have lived their life. That's why I'm not afraid of the questions. I'm not afraid of the comments. Because what speaks louder than anything that you've read or thought you've read is my life. It speaks for itself. So I challenge you to examine that. And I'm not a perfect man. I can do some things different, do some things better. But I know when it comes to loving people, when it comes to respecting people, and when it comes to justice, particularly for those who have been marginalized, I have been a champion for that, and I will continue to do that. Thank you.
So once again, Lytton listens, Lytton leads is not an empty alliteration. It really is at the core of my being. And I will, if you bless me to be your CEO, bring a myriad. These were just a sampling of my think different ideas to Roswell. And I'm a sales guy. I've been doing that for 40 years. I'm not going to ask for your vote. What I would ask you to do is give me serious consideration. And I'm an open book, really. I think I'm the only candidate that's doing live fireside chats, streaming on Facebook. You can find me at Michael4Mayor. I'm taking questions from live and unedited. So if you have questions you didn't get answered, please look on my Facebook page. You can see the events section, and you'll see all those fireside chats listed. There are 3 more left. So again, Michael Lytton, think different. Lytton listens, Lytton leads. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting the overall process. It all comes from us. and these terrific candidates that have thrown their hat in the ring. Have one final applause for them. And thank you all for coming. Appreciate it very much.